What have you found, Mr. Dillon?
Hold the lantern over here, Chester.
Yes, sir. Oh, my goodness. Somebody's gone and hung a man.
So that's it. Oh, that poor devil. Was this a lynching, Marshal?
No, Egan, that's old Tom Sanders. He's been drunk for 20 years. Yeah, I guess he finally decided to break the habit. You won't get any action out of this. Well, Egan, it's been nearly a week. Enough excitement for you?
I must admit, Marshal, it's not quite what I'd expected. Somehow the idea Marshal was always busy, doing things.
You mean gunfighting?
I've told you I don't think gunfighting's necessary.
Yeah, I remember.
Any man accustomed to command should be able to control these Dodge City ruffians without much trouble.
I only draw my gun as a last resort, Egan. And besides, you haven't seen any of these men in action yet.
I still want the job, Marshal.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Matt?
Yeah, come on in, Doc.
Say, Matt, you'd better get over the Texas Trail.
Oh?
You know those fellas Gear and Bozeman?
Yeah, I know him.
Well, they've got that poor little Leonard Phibbs at the bar there, and they're trying to make him pay for their drinks. He's broke, of course, so they're beating him up. They're doing it real slowly, bit by bit. I tell you, it just makes you sick to watch it.
All right, Doc.
Wait, Marshal.
Yeah, what?
Let me handle this.
Look, Egan, Gear and Bozeman may be a couple of bullies, but that doesn't mean they're not dangerous. They are.
Are you afraid I might be able to handle them, Marshal? Well?
Okay, go ahead. Here, take my badge. Tell 'em you're a deputy.
Thank you, Marshal.
You gotta learn one way or the other. Come on, Chester.
I knew you wouldn't leave Mr. Egan all alone.
Nobody will look for us coming in the back door. Hey, let's move a little closer.
Egan's facing him, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah.
Oh, look at poor little Phibbs. They got him all bloody.
What makes you think you can do this to a man? Is there no law where you come from?
We come from Dodge, Mr. Deputy. Where do you come from?
Are you Bozeman or Gear?
I'm Bozeman, Mr. Deputy. I'm the one who generally does the talking, but we both do the fighting.
You're out of order, Bozeman.
What's that?
I said you're out of order. I will not tolerate your insolence.
I'm not sure, Mr. Deputy. But are you saying you don't like us?
That's enough. You and Gear will turn and face the bar while I take your guns.
You're the most doggone foolish man I ever saw, Mr. Deputy.
Do as I say.
Why? Because you're wearing a badge?
That's reason enough?
Now, Mr. Deputy, that may be reason enough
There'll
for
be
you.
no shooting. I'm ordering you to face the bar.
I guess there's no use talking to you, Mr. Deputy. I'll take him along here.
He's going.
Hold it, Bozeman! All right, that's enough. Well, go ahead, Bozeman. Try it again.
Now, wait, Marshal.
You knew he couldn't handle a gun. You know I can. Is that it?
Your gun against two of us?
Quit talking, Bozeman.
Don't try it, Gear.
All right, then do as my deputy told you. Face the bar.
Sure. Sure, Marshal.
Chester.
Yes, sir. You want me to lock him up, Mr. Dillon?
Here are the guns, Chester. I'll be at Doc's. Maybe he can save Bozeman here from hanging. Yeah, it's getting light out, Doc.
It generally does this time of morning.
Yeah, but I'm not generally sitting up waiting for a man to die.
He isn't going to die, Matt.
Well, I saw what that bullet did to him.
You feel guilty, don't you, Matt?
Wouldn't you, Doc?
Yes, I guess I would.
Doc?
Oh.
What?
Well, he's conscious. Well, how do you feel, Egan?
Pretty fair, Doc. I've been lying here, listening to you talk.
Oh, you mean you've been conscious for some time?
Half hour, maybe. I wanted to get my head clear.
Well, a few weeks in bed and it'll be clear enough.
I guess I was lucky.
If that bullet had gone 1 inch to the left, you'd have died on the floor, Egan. You were lucky, all right.
God protects fools and drunkards, isn't it? Marshal Dillon.
Yeah.
I heard you saying you felt guilty about this. It wasn't your fault.
And I should have known what had happened.
But I heard you telling Doc how it happened. You faced them the same way I did. They didn't shoot you.
It's a little different with me, Egan.
How?
This is my profession.
Well, I've handled enough men to be professional.
Egan, why do you think Bozeman did what I told him to do?
Because he knew you'd shoot if he didn't?
He not only knew I'd shoot, he knew I'd kill him. He knows I can handle a gun pretty well. And that part of the profession they don't teach in the Army. Takes years and years to learn.
Well, I can't complain any more about there not being enough action, can I, Marshal?
Hey, your week's up today, Egan. You want the job?
Marshal, you ever been in California?
Not for some time.
I hear things are pretty active out there. I'll write you and tell you all about it.
You know, there were a lot of ways for death to come to a man on the frontier. All of them hard. But next week, a man meets death the hardest way of all, at the end of a rope. But that was the West. Good night.
Gunsmoke. Produced and directed by Norman MacDonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. Our story was specially written for Gunsmoke by John Meston, with music composed and conducted by Rex Corey. Sound patterns by Tom Hanley and Bill James. Featured in the cast were John Daner, James Nusser, and Harry Bartell. Parley Bear is Chester, Howard McNear is Doc, and Georgia Ellis is Kitty. Join us again next week for another specially transcribed story on Gunsmoke.
And that's Gunsmoke from March 18th, 1956, with a man who would be Marshal. It's heard on CBS Radio, starring William Conrad as U.S. Marshal Matt Dillon. Also in that cast, John Daner, James Nusser, Harry Bartell, Howard McNear, and Parley Bear and Georgia Ellis, with George Walsh doing the announcing. Now, that was originally sponsored by Chesterfield and L&M Filters, but we had to remove those cigarette commercials. We don't air cigarette commercials on the radio. Hope you enjoyed Gunsmoke. And speaking of Gunsmoke, Lisa, Gunsmoke is one of the 5 free radio shows that you can get. Uninterrupted, complete episodes, 5 digitally remastered free shows because you are a listener to this radio show. It's our way of thanking you for being a listener. Just go to our website, 100radioshows.com, the number 100radioshows.com. When you log on to that website, you will see at the top, you enter your email address, and we will instantly send you 5 shows. Fibber, McGee, and Molly, Gunsmoke, Jack Benny, Suspense, and Richard Diamond, Private Detective, digitally remastered by the great Mike Costello. And they're sent to you, as I said, instantly to your email. And those links will never expire. That's our way of saying thank you. But if you want to purchase any shows at that website, and there are hundreds of shows at that website, make sure that you use the promo code RADIO at checkout. Promo code is RADIO, and you will save 70% off the regular price. And that's our, again, way of thanking you for listening to this radio show, 100radioshows.com. Let's take a quick break, and then it's more here on the WGN Radio Theatre. Lisa, we're going on a cruise August 1st of this year.
I can't believe it's here. We've been talking about it and thinking about it for so long, and it's almost that time.
You know what? I could use a cruise right now with this weather.
I need a vacation.
This is nuts. This is cold. This is really cold. I'm wearing like 2 jackets, like 2 hats.
Well, hopefully it'll warm up a little bit between now and August, but either way, it'll be great to get away, have a classic radio cruise, and take a vacation with Lisa and Carl.
That's right. Going to Bermuda, August 1st.
Right. We're going on Oceania Cruise Line, which is a luxurious cruise line. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to bake in the sun. And at the same time, we're going to...
You're not going to be baking in the sun.
I'll just,
She doesn't go in the sun.
Bake a little bit in the
Lisa.
sun. We'll have a little classic radio fun, and we'll explore Bermuda, all of the above. And, of course, you'll be at this casino and having some big dinners every night.
But let me tell you something. When it is sunny out, I will be by the pool. I will be getting some sun.
Well, I will be by the pool, too, under an umbrella.
With your floppy hat
that
for
Luann
sure. Got for
That's
you.
Right. I'm waiting.
And barking orders to me. Get me a pina colada. Get me this. Get me that.
I'm going to need
She'll be barking
my
orders.
cabana boy will do that for me. You sit.
Yeah, we're going to get to know our listeners so much better. We can't wait to meet you out there in Radio Land. Come with us on our cruise. It's August 1st, 2020.
Right. We're working with a great travel agency, Keen Luxury Travel. They've given us a great group rate. It is a limited offer because when it's full, it's full. Here is the number. Give them a call. It is 800-856-1155. That's 800-856-1155. Or you can go to WGNRadioTheatre.com and you can click on the cruise banner and learn some more there as well.
Yeah, but if you call that toll-free number, they'll answer all your questions for you. They'll walk you through the whole thing. And this sails out of New York, and it's 7 nights. It's going to be incredible. And we are going to have some radio reenactments. We're going to do trivia contests, a cocktail party.
And prizes, because who doesn't love WGN Radio Theater prizes?
But the real prize is getting to hang with us.
The real prize is you, Carl.
And it's going to be a lot of fun, so make sure you check it out. Come with us to Bermuda. All right, now next Saturday, we start half an hour late.
Yeah, we're starting at 10:30, so we are going to start with a 15-minute Vic and Sade episode.
Right.
And then we have The Shadow.
Right.
Broadway is My Beat, Dimension X, and Nick Carter, Master Detective.
Wow, so good lineup. All right, so don't forget, folks, next Saturday we start a half an hour late. We're beginning at 10:30, and we'll go to 3 o'clock in the morning right here on the greatest radio station in the world, WGN. Thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks to Shante Garth, our producer, and Mike Costello, our executive producer. And, of course, thank you out there in Radio Land for listening. We'll see you next week.